Hello YouTube, I decided to make a Christmas special and I thought I would make a turkey mask. So this is how I'm starting off. It's just with a whole load of aluminium foil and I've just squashed it into this rough kind of dome shape, and then I'm going to go over the top of this with kitchen paper and PVA glue. As you can see at this stage it's really loose, like it's so loose that a bit has just fallen off the top there. But you can see it's so kind of basic to do this kind of starting shape. You'll see all the effort that I go through to build up all the layers and that kind of thing. And about halfway through making this mask, I actually looked on eBay and I found you can buy a really good latex rubber turkey mask for, I think it's about 18 quid or something, or 13 quid. I should have just bought one. But actually, it's been really good fun to make this. So I think you'll enjoy this video if you watch it. You can see here, look, where I put the kitchen paper and PVA glue on. I also was putting it next to my fire to kind of get it to dry faster, and you can see where it burnt on the inside. It burns a lot more later as well, and you'll see that. But here you can see I just cut basic holes for the eyes, and I've just curved it a lot to get this kind of overall shape of, where the sort of main masses would be. Obviously, this would be a really good starting point for any kind of mask. You could make like a sort of a werewolf or, a monster or something. But like I say, we're making a turkey mask, so we need these big turkey drumsticks. And again, this is just aluminium foil, all kind of squashed up, and then kitchen paper and PVA glue layers over the top. And the PVA glue that I'm using is wood flooring PVA glue, which is a lot tougher than just normal PVA glue. It's a bit more like super PVA. Really, really tough stuff. Okay, these are the chicken wings, or turkey wings rather. And again, you can see, made them like very roughly, rough shape out of aluminium foil. These are the kind of sheets of kitchen paper that I tear up so they haven't got any kind of straight edges left on them anymore. And then I just go over the top with a bit of this PVA glue. Just like that, just coat it all over the top, and then you can put your layer of kitchen paper over and then build it up. It's just basically paper mache. Right, the next thing I need to do after this is put them on, attach them to the actual mask, and I'm going to use screws to do that because I want it to be really firm. You can see here though, like how tough this gets with the layers of paper mache over the top. It's really, really strong, this glue. You wouldn't be able to like tear through this or anything like you would if you used normal PVA glue. It is so strong. The other main benefits of this, of course, is that when the glue dries, it dries clear, so that's good because it means you can paint this and then you can paint over the top to kind of give it a protective coating, and that stops your paint from kind of peeling off or getting scratched off. Another benefit is that it's very slightly flexible, kind of slightly rubbery, so that makes it even tougher still. So you can see here I've attached the main turkey drumstick legs, and I've just used screws like this to do that, and it's literally just kind of making 3 small holes and screwing them in, and that attaches them, pretty firmly anyway. But then you can build up layers of kitchen paper and PVA glue on the inside of the mask as well to sort of protect you. So it means like the screws are not going to kind of work their way back out and, like hit you in the head or anything like that. I mean, the pointy parts of the screws are going away from your head anyway, so that's probably a good safety tip there. So again, you can see I've added a bit more mass here and here just to build up these kind of 2 main bumps on the main sort of body part of the turkey with a sort of groove down the middle. That will all kind of get emphasized a bit when I'm painting it later on as well. So while I was doing this, I was also covering the wings, and here they are. I haven't fully covered them yet. I've left the kind of base bits because I'm going to screw them on first, and then I can actually glue the bits of kitchen paper over the top and attach it all on nicely. You can see that I'm supporting the turkey drumsticks with some boxes from Milliput. Right, this is with the wings added, again like screwed on and then paper mache'd until they're all nice and firm. And you can see that I put this very close to the fire, and it gave a nice roast sort of turkey effect. And actually I did start thinking, will I do it as a roast turkey or will I do it as a raw turkey? I do like the idea more of doing it as a raw turkey just because it looks a little bit more freaky, which is what I'm after. I really like monsters and weird creatures and that kind of thing. So if I can make it look as ugly as possible, that is my main aim. Okay, you can see on the inside here, I've coated all of this with the PVA glue and kitchen paper, and it's nice and firm in there now. I need to kind of do more around the eyes and things, soften it all in a bit, and there are more features that I need to add on, but I'm going to build up a lot of that using Milliput. But I'm really pleased with that sort of roasted effect. If I was making a roast turkey, that would be ideal. Okay, I think you'll like this next stage because it's pretty freaky looking. So I was going to use the standard Milliput to do this, which is a sort of a greyish yellow kind of colour. But instead I used Milliput black because that's all I had left. It doesn't matter because obviously this is all going to get painted and covered up and whatnot. But you can see what I've been doing is basically building up a lot of kind of ridges and all of the sort of pores, all the spots on the turkey. It's looking pretty cool. Oh yeah, and I did the sort of bottom part of the turkey as well, which I think is going to look like a really cool kind of mouth or something for the mask. It's just going to end up looking like quite a weird kind of creature in its own right. If you haven't used Milliput before, it's a two-part putty and you mix the two parts together in equal amounts and it dries rock hard in about 4 hours. It is really cool stuff and I use it for pretty much all of my sculpts. Here's the box from the black Milliput. So this black Milliput would be particularly good, say, if you're doing woodworking or something like that and you had some grain or something to fill, you could fill it with the black and then you could sand it down. So I've put the QR code there in front of the screen, so if you want to scan that, you can. But yeah, really cool stuff. Definitely worth giving that a try because once you use it, you don't go back. You keep using it because it's such cool stuff. Right, you can see here, I've just gone over the top with a whole load of PVA glue. And while it's wet, obviously it's white, but this will all dry pretty clear over the top. Not that it matters anyway, because I'm then going to paint it, but this is just a way of sealing all of those little bumps that I've put on and sticking them firmly to the whole body. Most of the processes that I've been showing you to make this mask are really quick and really simple. The only thing that you're having to wait for is the glue to dry between each kind of layer. So I've obviously been speeding that up by putting it next to my fire. That makes it a lot quicker. But the interesting thing with this sort of wood flooring PVA glue is if you leave it at room temperature, it dries kind of shiny, which is good, nice and glossy. But if you use a hairdryer or something on it or put it next to a fire, it tends to dry more sort of matte. Right, you can see it here with its first coat of paint on, and you're probably feeling hungry all of a sudden. It's starting to look a lot more like a raw turkey. I obviously want to build up lots of layers onto this to make it look as much like a raw turkey as possible. And yeah, just to make it look as hideous as possible as well. And what I will do at the end, I'll coat it all with PVA glue and I'll let it dry at room temperature so it dries really nice and shiny as well. It suddenly feels a lot more like Christmas now that I'm thinking about turkeys in this way. Well, it's Christmas time again here in Punxsutawney. I can never help doing lines from Groundhog Day because we watch it every Christmas and I think I pretty much know all of the words from it now. My family get really annoyed with me just basically doing a voiceover for the whole movie when we're watching it. So I think you'll agree that he's looking much more raw turkey-like now. This flesh colour, by the way, is made using yellow ochre, tiny bit of cadmium red, and then white, titanium white. And that is basically using System 3 acrylic paints. Right, this is with the layer of PVA glue over the top. You can see it's still a bit wet at this point because it's white rather than clear, but it's getting there. This gives it a really nice glossy look, which I really like because it makes it look slightly kind of wet and much more grotesque, which is what we're after. To be honest, I was pretty pleased with it at this stage and I would have been quite happy to kind of leave it like this, but I just wanted just a couple more subtle colours added to it. And I don't know if it will really be picked up very well in this video or not, but I wanted to add like a sort of a greyish purple colour as a like a kind of wash. And then I also wanted to use like a pink sort of colour as well. So I've added those. This is the next stage. And hopefully you can just about make it out on the video, but it's kind of painted as, like I say, like a wet wash. So you're putting it on over the top and kind of blending it in. And then I went over the top again with another layer of PVA glue because I wanted it to look like it was kind of in the skin, if you see what I mean. The pinks and the purples are all sort of in all these grooves. And they're very subtle, but they do make a difference. They make it look much more like a realistic raw turkey. I think because I put on a really thick layer of this PVA glue on top of a layer of PVA glue that had already been put on, I think it's dried, and it's dried fairly white in here in some of the places where it was kind of thickest, and I quite like that actually. It's worked quite well, so I'm really pleased. I'm pretty sure it has completely dried at this point, or pretty much anyway. So this is what it's going to end up looking like. And yeah, I'm loving this. So it's going to be fun at Christmas wearing it and freaking out some of my friends. You can see on the inside I've got a couple of places where some purples run a little bit, but nobody's going to see the inside anyway. I might paint over those. But this is it, basically finished. So I hope you like it. I'm going to show you me wearing it as well in a second, so that'll give you an idea of what I'm going to look like at Christmas. So I guess you guys probably want to see me wearing this, don't you? So I couldn't obviously video myself wearing it, so I got my wife to video me. And I think you'll agree, this first take that she did was quite interesting, where she cropped off the top of my head. Bless her, it is very late at night and she has been wrapping a lot of presents, so she was quite tired. Anyway, she redid it so that you've got the top of my head in there. And you can see there with a Christmas tree in the background, very festive. I think it's going to work quite well. And yeah, here you go, from different angles. I'll do a few poses for you. But I think you'd agree, it does look like some kind of hideous kind of Star Wars creature or something at the same time. Okay, Merry Christmas everyone, and if you've enjoyed this video, hit subscribe to see anything that I post up in the future. Thanks to Milliput for sponsoring this channel. If you haven't tried it before, go out and get yourself a few packs and give it a go, because I think you'll love it as much as I do. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.